So this is just a thorough detail of them doing my braces. This is when she puts on the bottom brackets, and she just positions them on the teeth in any way. Well, not specifically in any way, but she just puts them on there. And the orthodontist, who you saw for a minute, his shoes behind me, there he goes. He comes behind her and just checks and sees that they're positioned in the area of the tooth that he wants it to be positioned so that it can align right. And I promise he tried everything to stay out of my video. He did not want to be in my video at all. And I tried to catch him one little small time. So he comes behind and he just pretty much, if the brackets need to be moved a little bit on my tooth, he moves them and puts them in the right position that he wants them to be in. And then he kind of just scrapes away the excess glue before she dries them, because if he leaves it on there, it'll just be hardened glue in different places around my tooth. So he just scrapes away the excess glue and checks the brackets. Here she's using the light to dry the glue. It causes the glue to harden, and I think she has to leave it on each tooth for a period of time because it kept beeping, so maybe 10 seconds or something like that. And then after she dries each tooth, she takes the little scraper and kind of just grabs and tugs a little bit on the bracket to make sure that it is glued and hardened down and that it won't move. And she does that to each tooth. And after she's done, she moves on to the top set of teeth, and she pretty much does the exact same thing. She cleans it thoroughly with the blue stuff, whatever that's called, and rinses it off, dries off each tooth really, really well, and then places the brackets. Now this is where she is rinsing off the blue stuff, the cleaner, and she rinses off each tooth thoroughly so that all of the blue stuff is gone. And then she dries each tooth with that tooth dryer. She air dries them individually so that everything will stick properly. And then I felt like I was producing so much more saliva since they had those cheek retractor things in my mouth. So I couldn't wait for her to grab the little suction and get all the saliva out of my mouth. And that stuff she rubs on each tooth with a little blue stick, um, I believe that's the primer for the glue. And she pretty much rubs that around each tooth thoroughly before she puts the glue on the bracket and places the bracket on each tooth. And if you watch my previous video, my first video talking about my braces, I believe it's called Hear Me Rant. I'll explain to you in that video why I have the traditional metal ones at the bottom and then the clear brackets at the top. So if you watch that video, you will understand why I have two different kinds of brackets on each set of teeth. And with the metal brackets, you can see how she just easily placed those on each tooth. Now with the clear brackets, they have a color code, so they go on, color. They're coded specifically for the tooth that they go on each side. Like you'll see the two front teeth, both of them are blue, and then the teeth on each side of those front teeth, I think both of those are maybe green or something like that, but they're color coded. And then after they do the placement of the brackets, she pretty much just takes, I think they're like almost looking like little tweezers or plier looking appliances, and they just take off the little color coding. But after she places the primer on it, she takes that light and she dries the primer before placing each bracket. Now after my teeth are all dry and she's put the primer on, she gets ready to place each bracket. And what I noticed that she did, I watched a few videos where they put the glue on the teeth and then they place each bracket on each tooth like that. But she, as I watched her, she put the glue on the back of the bracket before placing it on each tooth. And I think I like that she did that rather than just sticking the glue on the tooth and then sticking the bracket on there. And there's my orthodontist again well, his shoes at least. And he's just pretty much watching and waiting for her to be finished so he can come behind and check the placement and make sure that they're in the area of the tooth that he wants it to be. And every time that he checked it, I swear he kept wiping my lip gloss off of my bottom lip. And so I'm definitely like, I'm so conscious of my lips and them being chapped. I can't deal. So I couldn't wait to get out of that chair again so that I could reapply my lip gloss. Now, after she's placed each bracket and the orthodontist has come and made sure that the placement is correct, she just again takes that light and places it over each tooth individually and makes sure that the glue is hardened so that the brackets won't move. And I believe she went over each tooth twice. It seemed like she was doing that for a long time, so. And then after she was done drying each tooth and making sure that everything was all set, she let me go to what they call the brushing station. And it was just pretty much a sink in a corner with a lot of disposable toothbrushes and a bunch of toothpaste, um, mouthwash, and paper towels and things like that. So they let me go there and rinse my mouth out, making sure that all excess glue and everything was gone. And that's just pictures of me rinsing my mouth out. And then a close up after I reapplied my lip gloss, of course. So this is the wiring process. She places the wire in, and then she takes those bands. They're like really little rubber bands, and she places them around each bracket over the wire so that it holds the wire in place. And the thing about those is she asked me what color I wanted, and of course I didn't want the really colorful ones like the kids usually get. And she said what usually happens with the clear ones, with the clear brackets, people usually either choose the clear rubber bands or pearl. And she pretty much suggested that I go with the pearl. And there was another dental assistant who had braces, and she had the pearl because she said that the clear will sometimes stain, like if I'm a coffee drinker or, like a lot of sauces, like barbecue sauce or hot sauce, it'll stain, or even mustard. She said if I have mustard, the clear will stain and it'll be yellow. So each of my brackets will look like they have like a yellow rubber band around it. So I didn't want that. So I chose the pearl, and so that's just her placing the rubber band around each bracket. And then you'll notice that she takes some type of snipping tool at the end, and she snips the bracket. Snips the wire, because of course the wire can sometimes be too long, and she didn't want it poking my cheek, so she snipped it in the back.
What do you do with an elected official who delivers a whole lot more with 25% less? You keep them. And that Secretary of State does the Department has 25%.
Check them out and then Dr. Swanee will test them for you, okay?
Ruth Johnson put better technology and training. The result is better service and shorter lines.
And that's where she snips the wires on both sides. And what she does there is just places the wire inside of the last bracket on my back tooth, because I didn't get those. I think they're called bands, where they actually put them on like maybe your second molars and it goes around the entire tooth. I don't have those on. I have some other type of brackets. And so she moves on to the bottom set of teeth and puts the wire on the bottom. And she does the same thing. Places the pearl rubber bands around each bracket and snips the wire.
Yeah, I think that's what happened in my
And then after that, I watched a little video, just pretty much an instructional video showing me how to properly brush with braces, how to properly floss, what to avoid, what foods to avoid, like sticky foods and caramel, things like that, popcorn, things that can break my wire or break a bracket, like remove the bracket from my tooth, and I would have to pretty much come back in and get that done. So they were just telling me do's and don'ts and just different types of instructions that I should follow.
Oh, bummer, okay. I will take that.
And then I was all done.
Yeah, there's a bummer.
I'm just going to give you a close-up. There we go. Hey, so I'm all done. Oh, my God. I feel weird. I feel really weird. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm done, and I'm all braced up. This is weird. And I'm hungry. So that's this is weird. I feel really weird. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.